have to think carefully about this one. Nah. Should I just give up? No. They don't even pretend. They don't even pretend it's an option. Like, what should I do? Accuse or give up? Give up. No, I can't do that. That leaves me with only one choice. By process of elimination, I will accuse. But thou must... I know what I have to do. Mr. Wright, I know that saying you're constantly reminding me and Athena of. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You never fail to surprise me, Apollo. And Nayuta, you know that creed we've known ever since we were kids? A dragon never yields. Apollo. They are not merely words. They are what's carried us this far. So now, it's time to honor these words and the memories of the ones who gave them to us. I couldn't agree with you more, Apollo. Those words are more important to me than you know. And if there's any time to remember them, it's now. It would seem, Apollo, that not one but two auspicious creatures dwell deep within you. A fierce dragon and a virtuous phoenix that shall scatter the clouds hiding the heavens. I shall join you in your death-defying bluff. You didn't have to tell them it was a bluff. I think I finally understand what those words really mean, and the resolve they embody. Are you smiling? Even in the face of certain doom? I'll write it into the law. You ain't supposed to smile in court. That's a violation. Is there no end to your defiance? Unfortunately for you, no. I won't let fear, or even the law, force me to abandon the pursuit of truth. Because there is another saying in my country, the truth will set you free. I was quoting Liar Liar now. The best law movie. Indeed, that is precisely what Dirk sought to do through this trial. He wished for us to break free from a certain despicable spiders immobilizing silk threads. We won't be intimidated by unjust laws or give in to fear. Abandoning the truth like that is just not a part of my playbook. There is only one path before us, revolution. The time to make Dirk's dream a reality is upon us. Your Eminence, if you are the law here in Khura'in, then your very existence is wrong. Does your desperate bleating know no end? I know it's a bit late to ask, but what's the plan? Well, if Khura'in is going to execute us on the spot under the Defense Culpability Act, and the law itself derives powers from the authority of the Crown, then there's only one thing to do. We dethrone her right here, right now. Alright, but how? You go in slowly on the left. It's not like we have a lot of time to come up with a way to do it, either. The bullets are literally in midair. They should have, as soon as he said it, he was like, okay, immediate execution, bang. And now we have to, we're having this conversation while the bullets are spiraling towards our heads. I doubt she'll allow you to perform another cross-examination while we think. Don't worry, I'll come up with something. We'll be Daijobu. We can't give up. Not now. We have to keep on fighting to the end. We can't allow these broken trials to go on. It's time to make things right. Alright, we're gonna logic dive. Alright. Logic dive to the thrilling conclusion. If I accuse Khura'in, Nayuta will be subject to the Defense Culpability Act, which means he will be put to death in accordance with the law. So the only way out of this is to dethrone Khura'in right now. Could this be the key to dethroning Khura'in? It's actually both of these. We need to use the Founder's Orb to give Raver her powers. Why do you do this to me, game? It's both of these. Well, he said this. say the Founder's Orb. Okay, good. Is the Founder's Orb the key to the revolution? Dirk was convinced that the orb is the key to the revolution and Khura'in's future. In light of Garon's obsession with the orb, it makes a large amount of sense. She probably doesn't want anyone using it to gain spiritual powers and rights to the throne. Inga definitely tried to do just that, but that's where it starts to fall apart. Inga couldn't have channeled the Founder even after abducting Ms. Fey. After all, he didn't know the Founder's name. Also, more importantly, he didn't know her face. And couldn't know her face. But whatever. The name of the Founder is only known to those who become queen. That means the only people who currently know her name are Garan and Amara. So even if someone else had the orb, they wouldn't be able to channel the Founder. So that begs the question, why is Garan so fixated on the orb? Yeah, but he has prosopagnosia. So even if he looked at the orb, he wouldn't be able to channel her. Garan is obsessed with the orb because... Oh... Can she not channel spirits? She wants to clear her name. It wouldn't help with that. We've never seen her channel a spirit. Okay. Could it be? It's hard to believe, but... If she wants spiritual power, does that mean Garan can't channel spirits? That would explain why she had Amara perform the rite of channeling. Is that why she let Amara live? To stand in for her when the time came to channel spirits? So if Garan can't channel spirits, she'd have no claim... It would look bad. That's an interesting twist. Garan has no claim to the throne. Garan's Defense Culpability Act was established under the Crown's authority, but if she has no claim to the throne, then the DC Act would become null and void. No, not just the DC Act. All of the insane laws she's enacted would be swept away in one fell swoop. Not really sure how exactly we came to that conclusion. We just guessed. You claim the authority of the Crown? You, of all people? That's a good one. Have you truly lost it, lawyer? Indeed. I would have the defense explain himself at once. It's easy, Your Majesty. Why is Queen Garan so obsessed with the Founder's Orb? Why did she let Queen Amara live, and why was she having her mercifulness perform the rite of channeling in her place? The answers to these three questions point to a single conclusion, a fact that will shake this kingdom to its very core. I still do not follow, Apollo. Your Eminence, I have just one question for you, and please be honest. I mean, don't be a jerk and lie. You can't actually channel spirits, can you? What? You believe the Queen is not capable of communing with the dead? The defense will explain himself at once. In Khura'in, the ability to channel spirits is an absolute requirement for a would-be king. But Your Eminence, if you were incapable of doing that, then you'd have no claim to the throne. Not only that, but every law you've passed would be rendered null and void. None of this works if you lie here, so just don't, please. Again, we're loving the liar. It's devastating to my case. And you, the Garan Royal Guard, you seem to be rather enamored with the Queen's supposed spiritual power, but what if she had none? What if she were just an ordinary person, a pretender to the throne? That's crazy talk. Impossible! Objection! Such blasphemy! On what grounds do you make such a defamatory claim? Queen Garan, if you think I'm just out to defame you, then prove it. Prove it using this piece of evidence you want so badly.
Take that!
Right, because if we say, hey, here's the Founder's Orb, if you have... You should be able to just look at her, and you know her name, and here's her face, so you should be able to channel her right now. Duh. All the conditions for summoning the Founder should be in place. With the orb... Now, how... Hold on. Because now I forget. Isn't it supposed to give you spiritual power? Or no? Did we make that part up? Or no, no, okay, I guess we don't know. With the orb, we know what the Founder... Maybe he's just holding it up for her. He's like, you can't have it, but you can look. With the orb, we know what the Founder looks like. And as Queen, you should know the Founder's name. Gunrick. Ah, the Founder's name is Gunrick. Understood. But that's a boy's name. Now, if you would, Your Eminence, please show us the great spiritual power you bear as Grand Priestess of Khura'in. Oh, to witness Her Eminence's great power with our own eyes, the Holy Mother will appear before us? Oh, great miracle of miracles! Praise be, Your Eminence! May your mighty spiritual power show us the way. Enough! Enough, I say, you mindless cretins. Your Eminence, can it be that you cannot? No, no! I want a lawyer. Summon one at once. Aren't you forgetting something? There aren't any lawyers left in Khura'in. You can thank your Defense Culpability Act for that. Og! Your Eminence, please give us a glimpse of your magnificent spiritual power. Summon Her Holiness so she may guide us. I've heard enough from you. Out of my sight, all of you. If you truly are capable of channeling spirits, then get on with it already, Your Eminence. Garg! You sneaky, underhanded wretch of a lawyer. It says right here in the law book. I ain't gotta do that. That reminds me. You said something to this effect earlier. It is time to cease this insanity. Don't you feel stupid for saying that now? Indeed, of all the things she has said, I can think of nothing more ludicrous. Apollo, teach this deceitful, putrid queen a lesson she won't soon forget. Gladly, because it really is time to cease this insanity. Garan! Your reign of terror ends here! I just pointed at her. Ilvali, hello! You're here just in time. Very well. Demonstrating my facility. Oh, I missed it. Behold, the magnificent... Man, she's talking real fast. Oh, Your Eminence! Give me the raid! Hey, Azaleas! The raid message didn't go off. Heed the secret... Man, here it comes. Is this a bug? She's talking way too fast. Herg! What's wrong? Are you not feeling well? Oh, Spirit of the Founder, grace is with your presence. The time is now. I beseech you, appear before us. Heed my call, Founder, please. Harn... Hrarg! No, wait! I was just warming up. The rite actually starts from now. Look! Moon runes, moon runes. Oh, she died.
I can't do it if you're watching.
That host worked.
Just turn around. All right. Can't do it if you're leering at me. It's creepy.
In any case, Azaleas and Ilvalia, Iliavi, thank you very much. And it wasn't just my bot. it didn't come in the chat either. How's the game going? This was the finale. This was the very last thing that I needed to do. And we won. Prosecutor Sadmati, how is Her Eminence? It seems she now believes that she herself is the Holy Mother. I see. But her attempt at spirit channeling failed, did it not? Sadly, she seems unable to accept the facts. I fear it will be quite a challenge to question her later. And what, may I ask? Oh, and what, if I may ask, was her motive? I understand that she killed Minister Inga in order to prevent his coup d'etat. But what of her attempt to assassinate Queen Amara 23 years ago? To become queen herself? Maybe she just craved power and attention. She likely developed a psychological complex from her inability to channel spirits. That is why she kept Queen Amara alive to perform the rite of channeling for her. In that way, it would seem as if she had great spiritual power. In short, she built a cult of personality upon fear and lies. Then again, do not all tyrants? So then, she never really intended to kill Amara, huh? What I don't understand is why Queen Amara even listened to Khura'in in the first place. Especially 14 years ago, before Rafa was being held hostage. Why would she keep letting the people of Khura'in think she was dead, while she kept quietly performing the rite of channeling for Khura'in? Oh, thank you. I try. This game's been putting me to the test. My mother is a gentle soul by nature and loves her sister dearly. Zoengaran told her to hide because Dirk was out to kill her. She believed it. What's more, she did not wish to tarnish the name of her beloved sister. That is why she acquiesced so obediently to Garan's request to keep channeling for her. Until she fled with Dirk and was told the truth, that is. So that's what happened. And since Rafa was being held captive, I imagine Amara had no choice but to help cover up the truth behind Inga's murder. Yeah, living secretly as Rafa's servant Nena. No doubt only deepened her love for her daughter. She'd do anything to keep her safe. All the more reason to hide the painful truth from her. Well, that was a case for the ages. Prosecutor Sadmati has been cleared of all suspicion in the murder of Minister Inga, as has Mr. Dirk Sadmati in the assassination attempt on Queen Amara. Now then, I think it is high time I handed down my verdict on Dirk and Nayuda Sadmati. Not guilty. Oh, we don't get applause in this game. We just get butterflies. No prosecutor. Dirk, I hope you're watching. I proved your innocence. Nayuda's smiling again. And that revolution you've always dreamed of is finally happening. With this, may I finally say, this court is adjourned. With the hammer. Way to go, Apollo! I was on the edge of my seat when those guards stormed the courtroom. That was a shocker, all right. Can't imagine anything like that happening back home. I know, right? I was ready to go down there and teach them a lesson myself. Really? I was barely able to hold her back. Hold me back? Hold me back? You are about to go ballistic after a while there, Athena. Yeah, well, I was thinking about helping you smack a few of them down, to be honest. I mean, to never say or do anything to deserve a Maya-Athena double suplex. You did a fine job out there today, Apollo. Thanks for all the great advice, Mr. Wright. Nah, it was all you. That perseverance and never-say-die attitude you showed was impressive. I actually learned a thing or two myself. What? From me? That's a laugh. There were any number of times where I wouldn't have blamed you for giving up. But you stuck it out till the end, and came away triumphant, by sheer force of will, and also by not being allowed to give up by the game. And inner strength forged in countless trials. You overcame the most desperate and hopeless situation I've ever seen. Speaking of die, yeah, Amara's dead, I guess. I don't know about all that. I mean it. You've really come a long way, Apollo. I've nothing but respect for your abilities as an attorney. Really? Aren't you exaggerating just a little bit, Mr. Wright? You did it, Apollo. You finally won his seal of approval. But what about me, Nick? My channeling's come a long way, too. After all, I was deemed worthy enough to be used in 2 major crimes already. Yeah, and 2 major chances for me to become someone you channel next. Honestly, I couldn't have done this without the support of each and every person here. Mr. Wright, Athena, Nayuta, and of course, Dirk. That was pretty cool, Polly. What are you doing here? Trucy? Trucy, what are you doing here? It's magic! I'm afraid she employed the old let's stow away in Mr. Edgeworth's suitcase trick. What? Though it certainly explained why my suitcase was so heavy. Tell me you at least noticed it was heavier than usual. Trucy, do you even have a passport? My magic panties are an extra-dimensional space. It's like a mini-universe in there. I could produce a passport at the drop of my hat. Right. Maybe some things in this world are better left a mystery. Horned head, barbed head. Edgeworth, just everywhere he goes, there's someone in his suitcase. I am forever in your debt for what you've accomplished in this Hall of Justice. Without your presence, I may have never changed as I have this day. It's pathetic, I know. That's where you're wrong, your benevolence. Because I know these ones you usually don't get a second chance at. At the very end of the game, they like to go, now you have to present something to show this person whatever, and it actually does influence the ending a little bit, and if you get it wrong, you don't get a second try. That's where you're wrong, your benevolence. It was you who changed yourself. Only you could choose to defy Khura'in, and that decision was yours and yours alone. Oh, are they not going to do it? That's right. All we did was present you with an opportunity, and you made use of it with gusto. This victory is yours, your benevolence. You should be proud of yourself. I see. So, I am worthy of my title after all. Ha 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 ha! I shall work to heal our kingdom so that it may know peace and prosperity once more. She sure bounced back quick. So, your benevolence, I take it you learned the truth of your origins? That you are the daughter of Dirk and Queen Amara? Yes, my mother, I mean, Her Eminence, told me. She said it was a part of my disciplining. If you can call it that. I don't think we translated that very well. Sounds more like blackmail. Keep quiet or I'll tell everyone you're the... Oh, okay, I guess. Keep quiet or I'll tell everyone you're the daughter of a criminal. My mother was so insufferable. Or should I say, my former mother. Sounds like there was no love lost there. But you cleared Dirk's name. My true father will no longer be known as a criminal. Therefore, I have nothing more to fear. So what's next for the Kingdom of Khura'in? I mean, you lost your queen, so... Her benevolence, Princess Rafa, will ascend to the throne. Oh no, it was him. I thought somehow Amara was done with surgery and already made it back to the back from the hospital. Former mother? No, you missed it. Her, the person that she thought was her mother turned out to be her aunt, and had, and nobody knew until today. Nayuda, but she can't channel spirits yet, right? Indeed, which is why I will act as regent on her behalf, until the day she comes into her own. Yes, your help will be greatly appreciated, Prosecutor but... Nayuda Oni-chan. Because they are brother and sister. Nayuda Oni-chan. Is she going to say what I think she is? Or is she too tsundere for it? What are you looking at, you horn-headed nincompoop? Katonk. Youch. In any event, I will be assisted by Nayuda and Queen Amara for the time being. Queen Amara? Our country offers counsel to the rulers of neighboring kingdoms through channeling. It is a duty I intend to fulfill myself one day, but for now I will have Queen Amara assist me in that capacity. So then, she's going to be alright? Yes, it seems the bullet went straight through her without doing any serious damage. That's a relief. Also, why doesn't she get to be queen then? Why... What's this deal with Nayuda's gonna act as regent? She can just be the queen. She can just really be the queen. It makes sense. You did it, AJ! Thanks to you, both Dirk and Nayuda beat the charges against him. And you got the revolution rolling to boot. The revolution? Dirk, I guess you were right to believe in me after all. Yes, sir. There's gonna be some major changes around here. The legal system's gonna return to its rightful state, like how Dirk always wanted. And the name of Apollo Justice will go down in Khura'inese history. Yeah, right. Oh, Nayuda, before I forget, there was something I wanted to give you before I head back home. You wish to give me something? As Dirk's birth son, I think you should have this. Of course. Take that! Take that! They made it. It's usually easy. I just wanted to make sure I didn't mess it up. This is Dirk's. I have to get back to the States, and I know you're a prosecutor and all, but as the man that's going to change Khura'in, it's only right that you have it. To change Khura'in. Yeah, in Dirk's place. Apollo, I am afraid I must refuse your gift. What? Why? There is something I would like to show you. Huh? What's this all of a sudden? Mr. Wright, won't you and your friends please join us? Sure. Ah! We beat the game, but we haven't beaten the spider boss. Former Sadmati law offices. So why did you bring us here, Nayuda? It was a happy game. It was a happy game, and now we're covered in spiders. Apollo, I want you to stay here in Khura'in. What? I'm not living here. It's gross. But why? We have lost our queen, and our kingdom stands at the crossroads. Most of all, we will need to rebuild our entire legal system. Naturally, that includes the reintroduction of lawyers to the court. Wait, you're not asking me to. Yes, I want you to take over this law office. With you as a lawyer and me as a prosecutor, we shall rebuild Khura'in's legal system from the ground up. You want me to help you rebuild the legal system? That's a lot to take in. Apollo, I cannot do this without you. As a lawyer, you are Dirk's spiritual heir, and having studied in America, your legal knowledge will be indispensable. This is way out of my league. The revolution is still in its infancy, but it was Dirk's dream to restore the legal system to its rightful state. Will you not help me realize that dream? Come on, AJ, you know it's what Dirk would have wanted. Let's do it together. You must be taken aback by my sudden request, but please give it some thought. Of course, I'm honored that you asked. Still, I have my job back at the Wright Anything Agency to consider too. Oh, no problem, you're fired. Don't you worry about that, Apollo. Besides, this is something only you can do. Something only I can do. I mean, to be completely honest, our office would be a bit short on firepower with you around, but hey. Mr. Wright. The Khura'in branch of the Wright Anything Agency. Actually, I'm sorry, but I can't get on board with this. Athena? I mean, there's still so much I want to learn from you, Apollo. That's right, it won't be the same without you. And everyone back home would really miss you, too. There's no way I can agree to this. Still, if you really wanted to stay... Yeah, Athena's right. It won't be easy, but... Athena, Trucy. Apollo, no one but you can make this decision. Know that I will not question whatever choice you make. Our flight leaves tomorrow morning, Apollo. Think you can make up your mind by then? I'll try. Talk about a difficult decision. This seems like it probably is an actual real choice that they're going to give me. Or should I stay in Khura'in and help Nayuta rebuild the legal system? I have to think carefully about this. Maybe they aren't going to give me the choice. We'll see. The bus to the airport will be here any minute. I wonder where Apollo is. Do you think he decided to stay here in Khura'in? I bet he was up all night thinking. This is a life-changing decision after all. And if he gets it wrong, the world turns into sand. But whatever he decides, I'll have to accept it. I guess this means no more courtroom battles alongside him. Hey, guys! I'd know that booming voice anywhere. Phew, I made it. No, he just came to say goodbye, though. Apollo, you're here. Does this mean you're coming home with us? Well, about that. Mr. Wright. Yes? I've made up my mind. Here it is. The moment of truth. I still have so many things to learn from you. But I've decided to stay in Khura'in. You're staying? But I feel like I have to pick up where Dirk left off. I can't let his sacrifice go to waste. I see. Plus, I want to teach others everything you've taught me about being a lawyer, Mr. Wright. Apollo, Dirk's roadmap for the future, and your teachings. I believe that these two things will save the people of this kingdom from further unrest. I want to do this. No, I have to do this. Apollo, I've never felt prouder. Proud to have had such an amazing attorney working under me. But someday, I'll return to the U.S., to Japanifornia. Once the new legal system here is firmly in place, I'll be back. Scout's honor. Will we really see you again, Apollo? You bet. Not that I have any idea how long it'll be. But I promise you this, everyone. I'll keep on learning and growing, and I'll come back to Japanifornia an even better lawyer. So don't you forget about me. Don't you. Of course we won't, Apollo. There will always be a spot waiting for you back at the office. In the meantime, we'll be rooting for you, so knock 'em dead. You got it, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna miss you, Polly. But if this is it, then I'm going to support your choice all the way. Thanks, Trucy. Good luck with your magic act. I know you'll do Troop Grammar proud. I'll be cheering for you too, Apollo. But don't think you're the only one with room to grow. The next time we meet, you probably won't even recognize me. In other words, you're going to change clothes? Even once? Or you're just going to wear the same thing the rest of your life? In other words, game on. You bet, and I'm going to win. I'm going to miss you too, Apollo, but I can't wait to see where your new adventure will take you. Well, there's our boss. I guess this is it, Apollo. I'll never forget everything you've done for me, Mr. Wright. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. Here's to seeing you back in Japanifornia again someday. Until then, you know where to find me. The legacy of those who came before us. It's handed down from parent to child. And from mentor to disciple. We must never stall or stagnate, but continue to grow and change. All that we've been taught, the beliefs and convictions that have been passed down to us, we must continue to nurture them so we, in turn, can pass them on to the next generation.
Are you really sure you're okay with him staying, boss?
Uh-huh. I always figured he'd leave the nest someday.
Oh, I think they're almost here.
Just a little. Got it. Huh?
Why don't we go and check it out, AJ?
Justice Law Offices. Nothing creepy about ghosts showing up. Is Phoenix right? Go on, Mr. Hat, introduce yourself. I'm the amazing Mr. Hat. Nice to meet you. I wanted to take this opportunity to announce my solo debut. It seems Mr. Hat doesn't want Apollo to leave him in the dust. We're fierce rivals after all. We can't. It's not just the same without Polly, is it? Yeah, I kind of miss him too. I know. We should go visit him in Khura'in. They talk so fast during these, like they don't wait for you. All right. After seeing Mr. Justice in action, I got to thinking, what can I do for Khura'in? Then it came to me, tourism. That's what. I'll develop Khura'in's tourism industry and bring in more visitors. I'll roll out a night tour centered on the Founder's Orb. Oh, and make a museum dedicated to the Defiant Dragons. Boy, the ideas just keep on coming. No, we're not starting a new game in 20 minutes. I want to congratulate you on becoming forensic investigator, Detective Sky. Thank you, but Prosecutor Sadmati says he has need of me, so starting tomorrow I'll be working Khura'in for a while. Look at it this way, it's sure to be an educational experience. True, plus I can't let that kid show me up either. I'll see what I can do for Khura'in's revolution. Huh. Well, challenges have a way of helping people grow. I look forward to our next investigation upon your return. Darn that forehead face! Ever since he revealed the secret behind our teleportation trick, show requests have totally dried up. We'll be out on the street if we don't find some work soon. Maybe we should take Trucy up on her offer. She said we could go make our debut as magicians at the Wright Anything Agency. Shut up. I'm gonna show her someday, on my own terms. Nothing fires you up like a bitter rivalry. Do. Khura'in is just like this child right now, full of life and limitless possibilities. I have faith that Dirk and my darling Taras will work. I will see Dirk's legacy through to the end. And just for Junior there, here's the secret of being a man among men. Behold, the dots pose. Wah, wah. Oh, it sounds like little Fighta? Of course his name's dumb. Don't be shy. Fighta? Fata? In me? If his last name is In Me. Or was it supposed to be Faith? I've been pulling double duty ever since Apollo left, but that's okay. I'm going to make Simon recognize me for the awesome lawyer that I am. She's quaking in her boots. Widget, I can do it, and I will. Mr. Wright will be calling me his right-hand woman before you know it. Let's do this. Thankfully, she did not make me speak in European at high speed. That would be difficult.
Bucky, how dare you deliver my order in such a sorry state? Don't be mad, Simon. There was a huge party at my shop yesterday, but it should still taste fine. Here, try some. You great big pillock. I just lost my appetite because of you. It's hard to find good help these days, wouldn't you say, old chum?
That trial the other day really inspired me. I've even created a Rakugo chamber. Too slow. It's a mystery story that'll keep flipping the audience's thinking on its head. It's called The Scary Udon Noodle. You're giving away too much in the title. Keeping the Tornado School going is our way of paying penance and repaying our debt to Shisho. And that includes Rakugo training for that kid, Owen. With my newfound ability, even ancient ruins and their fancy schmancy Tomb Raider traps are no match for me. Fire! The university where my father worked is letting me help with a dig. One day I'll discover an unknown ancient civilization and dedicate it to him. I'll also be going on a dig in Khura'in soon. That private justice had better not be slacking off. I'm going to be super busy now that I'm the head of the Fae Clan. Don't worry, Mystic Maya. I'll do whatever I can to help. Thanks, Pearly. Our first order of business will be to revolutionize Khura'in Village. Oh, I have an idea. How about opening a store where we can buy new outfits like the city girls wear? Well, look who's all grown up now. But I think there are a few more pressing matters to take care of first. Yeah, you're right. I guess it'll be a while before I get my revolutionary makeover. Credit He-Ten Style as main voice actor. And I ain't cheap. They paid a lot for me to do this. Mother, now that you have stopped being Nana, I want a new Nana. I wonder if there would be anyone willing to serve you in that capacity. You are quite a handful, after all. I am. With a simple wave of your hand, you would have your attire changed, meals prepared, and even your teeth brushed. To think I put such undue burden upon you, a grand priest of Khura'in. Fear not, Rafa. You will have plenty of time in which to make your amends. Perhaps you could start with one of your famous shoulder rubs. Janet Sue. I'm trying to think, has she always been the localization director? Is that the person whose blog I read? There's someone who's done a blog where they talk about, like, translation or localization difficulties in the Phoenix Wright games. Her benevolence has taken to calling me Braidhead. Even worse, she trembles and her face turns red when she speaks to me. What have I done to deserve such animosity? While it is true that I am merciless within the halls of justice, to be given such a dismissive name is entirely uncalled for. Oh, what am I to do? Perhaps I shall consult Apollo about this. She blushes whenever she talks to her brother. She has a complex. I see how it is. How is he doing, Mr. Wright? Great. He's a respectable lawyer in his own right. He even has his own practice called Justice Law Offices. Thank you. This wouldn't have been possible without you. Oh, before I forget, I made a copy of this photo for you. A photo? Oh, it's Lammy Rar is who's talking to him. Oh, Jove. It is so good to see him again. Don't you think it's about time we told them the truth? After all, they've both grown into fine young people now. Yes, you're right. Perhaps it's about time they knew. More credits. And a credits dance. So it was interesting that they had, like, at the end, they took care not to show her or mention her name, but it's kind of a nod to, hey, if you played the other games, or at least that one other game, then you know what's up. Well, the worst was, remember when I beat Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology, and the emulator had like, it completely shat the bed while trying to render the credits, and they were crawling across the screen at like 20% speed, and the music was slowed down as well. And so they seemed way, way, way longer than they were supposed to be, because it was just like... But yeah, so overall, I liked this game, even though it did get... Like, they've... Ever since the quaint days of, it's funny to see Marstead kind of like complaining a little bit about, well, you know, they have this spirit medium stuff that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And like, here we had people using like JoJo stands against us. Practically. But even though this was less rooted in reality than any other game in the series, and also at the same time over the top in terms of the law stuff, as they're like, yeah, we just don't do laws here. We just point at people and say they're guilty. I was disappointed. I know Faded, when he came by, was like, now that they did the whole like she can just declare you guilty, like a lot of the tension is gone from this final trial, and I was like, well, you know, kind of yes, but kind of not really. I kind of see what they're going for. But they made her such a pushover the whole rest of the trial. Like, she could, if she... I mentioned a couple of times, it made more sense when it was Gant in case 1-5, where he he was confident, but he also, like, the longer he stuck with it, the more he could, like, punish us with what we were working towards. Right? Because we were trying to get him blamed. Dear Mr. Wright, I can't believe it's already been a few months since I decided to, but sorry, I haven't something. So he sent him a letter and a picture. Oh, there it is. Dear Mr. Wright, I can't believe it's already been a few months since I decided to stay. I'm sorry I haven't been good about keeping in touch, but things have been really hectic. Rebuilding a legal system I'm not yet familiar with has been a real challenge, but I will say, it's given me plenty of work to keep me busy. Have you not given the autopsy report even a cursory glance, Mr. Justice? It's just, I have 15 clients on my plate right now, though I probably shouldn't have accepted all 15 at the same time. Oh, please. Are you going to help me rebuild Khura'in's legal system or not? If you are, we need to move through this case backlog faster. Yeah, I know, but... Besides, those 15 are only the beginning. There are 10 more awaiting your services. Huh? I, too, have friends and acquaintances seeking legal representation. And being that you are the only lawyer in the country, I told them to contact you. I estimate it will only add about 16 clients to your caseload. Huh? Huh? Now wait just one moment. I have been handing out advertisements for your new office. They read, from legal advice to investigating extramarital affairs, even yak milking. For a limited time only, these services and more are free down at Justice Law offices. I have already received requests from 380 new clients. He used to just object to people being like... The final objection is supposed to, you know... They'll have like, oh yes, you said you would take us all out to dinner and you would pay for it. And he's like, objection. This is you promised that you would provide legal counsel to every individual in our country for free. Going to have to say something, aren't I? I trust you did your cords of steel exercises this morning. Well, go on. There is no need to hold back. Now that you mention it, we have yet to hear you shout today. Yes, and I have grown quite drowsy from these tedious proceedings. I could use a loud something to wake me up. Do not disappoint me, Hornhead. There's really only one thing to say at a time like this. It's a word I've said countless times in my career, but one I'll never tire of.
Objection!
End. No. Good game. And the final game, unless you count The Great Ace Attorney, which I think only has a fan translation. I could, if I were feeling up to it, try streaming that in Japanese and just fumble through it, but I don't think that would really work out. If I could get a version... No, I just don't know. I don't know how I would pull that off at all. But thank you, everybody, for being here. This was the conclusion of Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright, Spirit of Justice. We will, on Thursday, be starting La Mulana. And then probably Saturday, starting La Mulana 2. I think La Mulana will only take me one stream. I think that sounds about right. I hear it's a very difficult game, but you guys know me. I'm very good at video games. No, it'll be La Mulana for a while, and I think I want to mix in. What was I going to mix in? The Virgo versus the Zodiac. That maybe at some point we'll go half and half, or 2/3 and 1/3, or something like that. But that is it for tonight. Actual Genius does breeze through challenging platformer. Didn't I do that last time? Don't I do that every time? In the VOD for the next few streams. Very well. Very well. Well, I will see you when I see you then. Take care, everyone.